Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be going over Lesson 1 in Booklet 4, that is the lesson on discounts. So as we continue to work with money, we not only need to consider the extra money that we pay because of taxes, but also the money that we might save due to deals or discounts. So this lesson goes over a couple of ways that you might calculate your final price after a discount. So let's get started on example 1, which asks us to calculate the 20% discount on a DVD that costs $30. Now, as usual, if you would like to perform mathematics with percentages, they need to be in decimal form. So we're going to take that 20, we're going to divide it by 100 to get 0.20. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take this 20% and we're going to multiply it by the cost of $30. Oh, 2 seconds. There we go. So we're going to take the 20%, multiply it by the $30, and what our calculator tells us is an answer of 6. What this means is that our discount of 20% is a discount of $6. That does not mean that we are paying $6. That means that we are saving $6. Now, this example doesn't ask us for the final price. It only asks us for the discount, so a final answer of $6 is fine. These next two examples are very similar, so pause the video, take a second to complete them, and then press play to make sure that your answers match mine. Example A 35% discount on a shirt that costs $22.50. First things first, 35% divided by 100 is equal to 0.35. So we take this 35% in decimal form, we multiply it by the price of the shirt, and what we get is 7.875. Now, please remember that this is money, and when dealing with money, we only want 2 decimals. So we're going to round the second decimal, the 7, using the 5. That tells the 7 to round up. And we have a discount of $7.88. Again, that's not how much we're paying, that's how much we're saving. Finally, we have a very large discount on a CD. We're saving 75%. Now, 75% as a decimal is 0.75. Again, we get that by dividing by 100. And we take that 0.75, multiply it by the price of the CD, $16.99, and we get our new, or rather we get the amount that we're saving, which is 12.7425. Now, you will need to use a calculator for these questions, so make sure that you're practicing with yours and that your answers match mine. Again, since we're dealing with money, we're going to round to the nearest penny, to the nearest cent. So the 4 uses the 2 to round, and that is going to equal $12.75 that we are saving. Now, if we want the actual price of the item after the discount, we need to subtract the discount from the original price. That's what example 2 talks about. So Example 2, calculate the price after a 15% discount of a video game that costs $52.45. So step 1, as usual, if I want to work with 15%, I need to write it as a decimal. That decimal is 0.15. Just like with the previous question, I'm going to take 15% as a decimal. I am going to multiply it by the price of the video game, $52.45. And what I get is 7.8675. This represents how much money I am saving. And when dealing with money, we round to the nearest penny, the nearest cent. So this is going to be $7.87. Now all we're doing is adding an extra step here. It's great that I'm saving $7.87, but how much am I paying? So I'm going to take the $52.45. I'm going to subtract off the amount that I'm saving, and my price after the discount is going to be $44.58. So to reiterate, using your percent as a decimal, multiply it by the original price to get your discount, and then subtract your discount from that original price. Let's take a look at example A down here. Now, I'm going to solve this using the method above, and then I'm going to solve it again using a slightly different strategy, and you can choose whichever one you prefer. A price of a jacket normally costs $75, but it has a 25% discount. So, in order to find the price after the discount, we're going to use 25% as a decimal. At this point, I'm assuming we're really good at writing percentages as decimals, so I'm just going to write 0.25. 0.25 times $75 gives me $18.75. Okay. Now, I'm going to take that $18.75 and I am going to subtract it off of the original price. So $75 minus $18.75 is equal to $56.25. As I said earlier, I'm going to solve this exact problem, but in a different way. You can choose either way, it's up to you, but here's another way you could find out that you have $56.25 as your final price. I'm going to do this one in purple. My first step instead is going to be 100% minus 25%. Why am I doing this? If I have 25% off of this item, then I'm not paying for 100% of it. I'm only paying for 75% of it. 20% off is the same thing as 75% on. I'm only paying for 75% of this item. So what I can do, and this doesn't give me the amount of money I save, this only gives me the final price. But what I can do is I can take that 75%, making sure to write it as a decimal. I multiply that by the price, which just so happens to be $75. and I will get an answer of $56.25. So you have two options. Option A is calculating the discount and then subtracting it from the original. And option B is subtracting the percentage discount from 100 and then multiplying your new percentage, the percent on, by the price. I'm going to continue to use option A for the next question. The price of shoes normally costs $112.64. However, we have a 50% discount. So I'm going to take 50%, which is 0.50. I'm going to multiply that by the original price, which is $112.64. And what I get is the discount, the amount of money that I'm saving, which is $56.32. So I take my original price, $112.64. I subtract off the amount that I'm saving, $56.32. And because it's 50%, I'm going to get the same number here, which is $56.32. Right, we're exactly halfway. I'm saving the same amount of money that I'm spending, $56.32. Now, a couple of things before I end this video. One, as usual, you have your worksheet immediately after in your booklet. But at this point, you should also have a handout, a reference sheet in the back of your binder that summarizes this lesson. Right? We talk about discounts at the top. We talk about how multiplying the percentage by the price gives us the amount of money saved. We talk about how the first strategy is taking the money saved and subtracting it from original. And this also talks about a second method where I can find the final price by subtracting the percentage from 100. So again, here I have a similar example where 25% off is the same thing as 75% on. So if I multiply 75% in decimal form by the original price, I jump straight to the final cost of this item after the discount. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know. Thank you.